Have you ever felt an invisible hand guiding your reactions, whispering doubts, or pushing you towards behaviors you later regret? This isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a profound whisper from the deepest corners of your psyche, your shadow. Carl Jung, the legendary Swiss psychiatrist, introduced us to this powerful concept, the shadow, an unconscious aspect of the personality that the conscious ego does not identify in itself. It's the darker, unacknowledged parts of ourselves, desires, impulses, weaknesses, and even creative potentials that we deem unacceptable and thus repress. For many, this shadow operates like a clandestine puppeteer, pulling the strings of their energy, dictating their moods, and subtly shaping their destiny. Imagine a life where your greatest fears and unaddressed traumas unconsciously sabotage your relationships, career, and inner peace. This isn't some abstract psychological theory, it's a lived reality for millions. The shadow, when left unexamined, becomes a master of disguise, projecting its unmet needs and unhealed wounds onto the world around you. It fuels self-sabotage, triggers irrational anger, and perpetuates cycles of anxiety and depression. Think about those moments when you overreacted to a minor slight, or found yourself drawn to toxic patterns even when you knew better. That, my friend, is often the shadow at play, desperately seeking acknowledgement and integration. But what if there was a way to break free? What if you could reclaim your energy, not by fighting your shadow, but by understanding and embracing it? The journey begins not with eradication, but with illumination. It begins with recognizing the subtle yet profound shifts that occur when your conscious self starts to take the reins back from this hidden realm. Are you ready to discover if you're already on the path to liberating your energy from the grip of your shadow? The signs are often more subtle than you might imagine, yet their impact is undeniably transformative. We're about to delve into the first crucial indicator that your shadow's control is waning, a sign that paves the way for a more authentic and empowered existence. This isn't just about self-improvement, it's about self-mastery, about truly becoming the author of your own story. The first undeniable sign that your shadow is losing its grip is a profound reduction in projected judgments and criticisms of others. When our shadow is in control, it often manifests through projection. We see in others what we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. Those irritating habits, those perceived flaws, that sense of inadequacy you constantly attribute to someone else, these are frequently echoes of your own unintegrated shadow content. Imagine a person who constantly criticizes others for being lazy, yet secretly struggles with procrastination themselves. Or someone who fumes at perceived arrogance in others, while deep down battling their own insecurities about worthiness. When your shadow holds sway, the world becomes a mirror reflecting your unaddressed internal conflicts. Your judgments become less about the other person and more about your own internal landscape. You're not truly seeing them, you're seeing a distorted reflection of your own hidden fears and shortcomings. But as you begin to integrate your shadow, a remarkable shift occurs. The intensity of these external criticisms diminishes. You find yourself less provoked by the perceived flaws of others. Instead of reacting with immediate judgment, you develop a sense of curiosity, empathy, or even indifference. This isn't about becoming a passive observer, it's about recognizing that what once triggered a visceral reaction now holds less power over your emotional state. You start to understand that the laziness you once condemned might be a reflection of your own need for rest, or the arrogance a mirror to your own desire for self-acceptance. This newfound emotional spaciousness allows you to approach interactions with greater objectivity and compassion. You realize that everyone, including yourself, is navigating their own complex inner world. This doesn't mean you stop discerning or having preferences, but the energy behind those discernments transforms from condemnation to understanding. You no longer feel compelled to fix or criticize others to feel superior, or to deflect from your own uncomfortableness. This liberation from external judgment is a powerful indicator that you are beginning to integrate those disowned parts of yourself, thereby diminishing the shadow's need to project them outwards. It's a foundational step towards genuine self-acceptance and a more harmonious relationship with the world.
The second pivotal sign that your shadow's influence is receding is a noticeable decrease in self-sabotaging behaviors and inner conflict. For many, the shadow manifests as a relentless internal critic, an invisible force that whispers doubts, highlights imperfections, and subtly steers you away from your true potential. This isn't just negative self-talk. It's a deeply ingrained pattern of actively undermining your own success, happiness, and well-being. Think about those times you were on the verge of a breakthrough in your career, only to suddenly procrastinate, pick a fight, or find an excuse to quit. Or perhaps you've experienced cycles of attracting unhealthy relationships despite your conscious desire for something more fulfilling. These are often the footprints of an unintegrated shadow, an inner adversary that fears growth, intimacy, or success because it equates them with vulnerability or unknown dangers. The shadow, in its desire to keep you safe within familiar patterns, however detrimental, will create internal friction. It generates feelings of unworthiness, imposter syndrome, or a deep-seated belief that you don't deserve good things. This internal conflict can feel like an unending tug of war, with one part of you striving for progress and another pulling you back into the familiar confines of discomfort. But as you begin to acknowledge and integrate your shadow, this internal warfare starts to subside. The self-sabotaging urges lose their power. You find yourself less compelled to undermine your own efforts or to fall back into destructive patterns. Instead, a sense of inner cohesion begins to emerge. The inner critic's voice softens, becoming less a harsh judge and more a cautious advisor. You start to align your actions with your conscious desires rather than being unconsciously driven by fear or unresolved trauma. This shift is profound because it means your energy is no longer being expended on fighting yourself. It's being redirected towards constructive action, towards building the life you truly desire. You become more resilient in the face of challenges, less prone to giving up when things get difficult, and more capable of sustaining positive change. This newfound internal peace isn't just about feeling better. It's about reclaiming your agency and directing your energy towards authentic growth and fulfillment, signaling a significant victory in the journey of shadow integration.
Third, a significant indicator that your shadow no longer controls your energy is an increased capacity for authentic self-expression and genuine vulnerability. When the shadow is dominant, it often compels us to wear masks, to hide parts of ourselves that we deem unacceptable or unlovable. We create personas, the perfect employee, the always happy friend, the tough individual, all to avoid the perceived judgment or rejection that might come from revealing our true, multifaceted selves. This suppression of authenticity is incredibly draining. It requires constant energy to maintain these facades, to censor our true thoughts and feelings, and to present a curated version of ourselves to the world. The shadow, fearing exposure and potential hurt, convinces us that vulnerability is a weakness, leading to isolation and a pervasive sense of not being fully seen or understood. But as you courageously step into shadow integration, you begin to shed these masks. The fear of judgment lessens, replaced by a growing sense of self-acceptance. You discover that the parts of yourself you once considered dark or unworthy are simply human. This allows you to express your true thoughts, feelings, and needs more openly and honestly. You become less concerned with external validation and more focused on internal integrity. Vulnerability, once terrifying, transforms into a superpower. You realize that sharing your authentic self, including your imperfections and struggles, fosters deeper connections with others. It allows them to truly see and connect with you, creating a sense of intimacy and belonging that was previously impossible. This isn't about oversharing or lacking boundaries. It's about choosing to be transparent and genuine in your interactions, knowing that your true self is worthy of love and acceptance. The energy once spent on maintaining facades is now liberated, allowing you to engage with the world more freely, creatively, and truthfully. This blossoming of authentic self-expression is a clear sign that you are moving beyond the shadow's control, stepping into a more empowered and integrated version of yourself, ready to embrace life with an open heart and an unburdened spirit. The fourth powerful sign that your shadow's grip on your energy is loosening is an enhanced ability to embrace and integrate paradoxes within yourself and the world. Life is not black and white. It's a spectrum of grays, a constant interplay of opposites. When our shadow is unintegrated, we tend to perceive the world and ourselves in rigid dualistic terms. We see things as good or bad, right or wrong, strong or weak. We struggle to hold contradictory ideas or feelings simultaneously. For instance, we might believe we must always be happy, repressing any feelings of sadness or anger. Or we might strive for constant strength, denying any vulnerability. This denial of paradox creates internal tension and restricts our understanding of reality. The shadow thrives on these rigid distinctions, compartmentalizing experiences and emotions, preventing us from seeing the full, complex tapestry of existence. But as you embark on the journey of shadow integration, you develop a remarkable capacity for holding opposing truths. You realize that you can be both strong and vulnerable, courageous and afraid, joyful and sorrowful, all at the same time. You understand that a situation can have both positive and negative aspects, and a person can possess both admirable and challenging qualities. This isn't about compromising your values, it's about expanding your perspective and developing psychological flexibility. You become comfortable with ambiguity and uncertainty, recognizing that life rarely fits into neat boxes. This newfound ability to embrace paradoxes frees up immense amounts of mental and emotional energy. You're no longer fighting against the natural complexities of life or trying to force yourself into a singular, restrictive identity. Instead, you develop a more nuanced and compassionate understanding of yourself and others. You can acknowledge your own imperfections without judgment and appreciate the multifaceted nature of those around you. This integration of opposites leads to a deeper sense of wholeness and wisdom, allowing you to navigate life's complexities with greater grace, resilience, and authenticity, a clear testament to your evolving mastery over your shadow. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most profound sign that your shadow no longer controls your energy is an increased sense of inner peace and a more profound connection to your authentic self. When the shadow operates unchecked, it creates a constant undercurrent of unease. There's a persistent feeling that something is off, an inexplicable restlessness, anxiety, or a void that no external achievement or possession can fill. This is because a significant part of your being is operating outside your conscious awareness, subtly sabotaging your efforts and preventing true self-alignment. Imagine trying to steer a boat when a hidden current is pulling it in a different direction. You're constantly fighting, never truly at ease. The shadow, in its unintegrated state, fosters this internal struggle, leading to a fragmented sense of self and a pervasive feeling of disquiet. But as you diligently work to acknowledge, understand, and integrate your shadow, a remarkable transformation occurs. The internal fighting subsides. The fragments of your personality begin to coalesce into a cohesive whole.
This integration leads to a deep, abiding sense of inner peace, not just the absence of conflict, but a profound feeling of being whole, complete, and aligned. You start to feel more at home within yourself. The constant striving and external seeking diminish, replaced by a quiet confidence and contentment. This inner peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It's an internal state cultivated through courageous self-exploration. Alongside this peace comes a stronger, clearer connection to your authentic self, your true essence, unburdened by societal expectations, past traumas, or repressed desires. You understand your motivations more clearly, your values become more defined, and your actions align more effortlessly with who you truly are. Your energy, once scattered and fragmented, is now unified and directed by conscious choice. This profound shift signifies that you are no longer a passenger in your own life, unconsciously driven by the shadow's whims, but a conscious, empowered creator of your own reality. It's the ultimate liberation, allowing you to live a life of greater purpose, authenticity, and profound well-being.
The journey of integrating your shadow is not a destination, but a lifelong process, a continuous unfolding of self-discovery. It requires courage, self-compassion, and a willingness to look honestly at the parts of yourself you've been conditioned to deny. But the rewards are immeasurable. A life free from unconscious self-sabotage, rich with authentic connection, and infused with a profound sense of inner peace. Carl Jung's insights into the shadow offer us a map, but you are the explorer. These 5 signs, reduced judgment of others, decreased self-sabotage, authentic self-expression, embracing paradoxes, and profound inner peace, are beacons illuminating your path towards psychological wholeness and true liberation of your energy. Don't be discouraged if you don't see all these signs immediately. Every step towards acknowledging your shadow is a victory. The goal isn't to eliminate your shadow, for it holds immense power and creativity. Rather, it is to integrate it, to bring it into conscious awareness so that its energy can be harnessed for growth rather than for destruction. Imagine what your life could be if your entire being, including your deepest, most hidden parts, worked in harmony towards your highest good. This isn't a pipe dream. It's the potential that lies within each of us. The work begins with a single, courageous step, a willingness to look within. What part of your shadow is calling for your attention today? How might acknowledging it transform your energy in your life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your journey inspires others, and together we can illuminate the unseen, transforming our shadows into sources of strength and wisdom. What small action can you take today to integrate a piece of your shadow and reclaim your power? The conversation continues, and your transformation awaits. Join us in embracing the full spectrum of your being.